for those watching, we're going to talk to Andrea today. She's going to give us a quick rundown inside of her experience, with me and my team inside the Fit Frontliner program. So, Andrea, go ahead, give everybody an idea. Where you located at? What do you do for work?
Okay, I live in California and I work as a wildland firefighter for the U.S. Forest Service. And that has been my job for the last 10 or so years.
Yeah, girl, you've been a baddie out there fighting them forest fires. So, it's not an easy job, that's for sure. So give everybody an idea, like when you first came in, where were you at within your own fitness journey, just to give, those watching a kind of a breakdown.
I was definitely struggling on my fitness journey from the very inception of my career. I haven't been where I needed to be, but I have strived towards that. And yet, despite my ability to study and research, I haven't really been able to connect those dots. And so I've been struggling with it. Um, and which is why I sought out a program that would help me achieve my fitness goals and my nutrition goals so that I could be the best version of myself for my job and for the people that I work with.
So did you try anything before? Like, I know you've tried a couple, like I know maybe doing things on your own. Did you try any apps, ebooks, maybe any other programs before you stepped inside with us?
No, I never committed like the time or the money to other programs because I wasn't confident in my ability to actually follow through with them.
Ah, okay. So what made you decide to invest in yourself this time around?
I was just fed up with it, completely sick of the process, ready to give up. And then I was just like, I've never been one to officially be able to commit to giving up though. And so I had to give it another shot.
Yeah.
And that's why I decided to try this out.
How do you feel about your decision about jumping in with us?
Uh, well, overall, at the end of the program, or very close to the end of the program, glad, super glad. But when I first started, definitely nervous because I was just like I was so ready for that moment when I was going to fail again and was kind of expecting that failure around the corner every single day, every single week until I realized that perhaps this is actually working. So good, but definitely was nervous at first.
Yeah, and that's normal. I always tell people that it's totally normal. Like I always say we're our worst critics when it comes to things. And like for you, I mean, I know you were saying like you're waiting for the failure, but like give everybody an idea like about, what have you achieved so far within this journey with us?
Definitely an increase in my fitness, a reduction in weight. I've lost about 20 pounds on the program so far.
Mhm.
And that's even with the stress of the job and the interruptions of the job. And so having been able to achieve fitness goals faster on the hill, faster in my runs, stronger with my lifts, a loss of weight, just a change in body shape.
Mhm.
It's been kind of the whole gamut as far as that's concerned.
Good, good. And how'd you feel about, the value we provided inside for you from, day one? I know you're at like week 16, so you still have like 2 weeks left with us, but how do
Yeah.
you feel like thus far, since stepping in?
There is a lot that the program offers. Definitely would recommend anybody who utilizes the program to utilize what is offered within the program. I personally wasn't super good about it, but there's a lot of like training so you can understand the concept of the nutrition and why you need to eat the way you're eating, and how to incorporate that into your daily life. And there are tools that are provided that make that super simple, even when you don't have access to time or what you would normally pull out of your refrigerator. And
Yeah.
so, it teaches you how to incorporate what you do have access to into your daily nutritional and physical fitness choices.
Mhm.
Um, and so I would say that, yeah, this program has many layers to it that I would recommend people give a shot.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and that the nice part is too, like even if you haven't gone through all this stuff, because I know give you guys like an insane amount of information, you always have access to it, right? So it's not going
Mhm.
anywhere. You don't have to rush through it while you're with us, which I always tell people, like, you don't have to like roll through it because you can always jump back into like the course material that I give you. So that way you don't feel like you have to, basically, what do people say? Drink from a water hose when you're going through the program. So basically, so you have access to all the good stuff, even long after you're done with us and no longer an active client. Um,
Mhm.
but was there anything else too within the program that maybe helped you in different areas of your life that you might not have anticipated from when you stepped in?
Um, I mean, just having that and building that relationship with my coach
Mm,
was a huge part of that, and using her as a resource of information, considering that she's very wealthy in terms of that knowledge and that understanding. So having that relationship with her, using the check-ins was beneficial. I'm a very private person, so sometimes it's hard for me to open up.
mm,
Um, but being able to answer those questions and use them as a personal assessment, which I think is the point, but use it as a personal assessment to really kind of show yourself what you're achieving or what you're struggling with. And then that gives your coach the ability to help you out directly.
yeah.
Um, I think that was the most beneficial part of it was the communication, which is having tried this on my own and lacking that communication or that cooperation with somebody who understands things better, I think was a missing puzzle piece for
Mm.
me.
Yeah. Just big for a lot of people is like, like I think we talked about before I started the interview with you is you're in firefighting. You're someone that knows how to be active. You know to exercise. You know to eat right, but like sometimes there's just like something that's just not clicking and
Hmm.
something that just needs to change. And you just have that person that is there for you to make those tweaks, those changes, those adjustments to just help you maximize your results faster rather than spinning your wheels over and over
Yes.
and over again. So last question for you, and then I'll leave you alone forever, Andrea. Uh, you're like, nah, don't go. But ultimately, like, what is your best piece of advice for someone? Maybe they're on the fence like you, because I still remember our call. I remember all my calls, and people be like, no, you don't. And I'm like, yes, I do. Because I remember everybody. What would you tell somebody that's on the fence, about jumping in?
At this point, for me, it was a huge time commitment and it was for me, money commitment. Like I had to consider whether or not it was worth the cost, especially not knowing whether or not I was going to be able to follow through, not get distracted, not get frustrated, whatever, get basically just abandon the program. So I needed to sit down personally and assess whether or not I was going to be able to make that commitment. And I had to ask myself whether or not I wanted to achieve results or if I just wanted to keep floundering.
Mm,
And I mean, I was unhappy. And when I weighed the risk versus gain and realized that, my biggest concern wasn't so much for myself, but rather for the people that I work with who rely on me. I decided that it was worth the effort. And if I was going to put that money in and that time in, then I wasn't going to waste my coach's time. I wasn't going to waste my time. I wasn't going to waste my money.
right.
And so I basically made a promise to myself that if I was going to send in that check, so to speak, that I was going to commit to it no matter what, no matter how frustrated I got. And
Yeah.
so it was a willpower thing, absolutely a willpower thing. And it's not easy, and it's easy to get distracted and it's easy to get lazy, but I mean, even if that happens, you can pull yourself right back in. And so there's really no room for excuses in terms of this program
Hmm.
or any program for that matter.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. If you want it, then you're going to commit to it. If you don't want it, then you're going to be lazy.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people need to hear that, honestly, because I can
Yeah.
say that I can scream it from the top of my RV. But ultimately, no
Yeah.
one is ever going to listen, unless, they hear from someone like you who, and that's the biggest thing. Like I say this a lot is at the end of the day, what you guys say about, jumping in, doing something as a first responder, as someone with a busy job, as someone who's struggled for a while, Like it's something that can be done, and sometimes you just need that little extra push in the right direction to give you, like I always say, like our job is to give you lifelong sustainability tools, tips, tricks, everything. So that
Hmm.
way you don't have to invest in anybody if you don't want to. You have it all. So thanks for trusting us in the process. I know it's I know it was it's not an easy thing. And you're kind of just like finding us on the internet, so I get it too. At
Hmm.
the same time, thanks for jumping in with us. Thanks for, sitting down and doing the interview as well. At the end of the day, like I always say this, like I am very grateful for every one of you that comes through because I know we can help you. I know we can help push you in the right direction. But at the end of the day, is like you just have to meet us where we're, in the middle so we can actually help get you go in the right direction. So anyone's watching, you have any questions, my DMs are open. Feel free to reach out and we can always schedule a time to talk a little bit more. Right, Andrea? We can chat.
Yeah.
She's like, it's great, everyone. No, but but ultimately just to challenge you guys a little bit and kind of like, ask yourself, like, are you ready to start to make a change? And we'll help you every step of the way. All right, perfect. Good job, Andrea.